So 1 year ago today, Donald John Trump almost got his head blown off on live TV.
Months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He was in the middle of a grueling campaign season, running hard for his second term as president. And on that day, July 13th, 2024, CNN just happened to be there. They claimed they were live streaming, quote, in anticipation of Trump's VP pick. Okay. I call BS. You can believe whatever you want, whatever helps you sleep at night. And let's not forget, earlier this year, 6 Secret Service agents, 6, who were tasked with protecting Trump that very day, suspended, not fired, suspended 10 to 40 days of unpaid leave. That's it. And now their assignments are, quote, restricted. So we got people who fumbled one of the most important protective details in modern history still walking around with badges. I don't know about you, but that don't sit right with me. But let's stop for a second and remember who really paid the ultimate price that day. Corey Compatore, a 50-year-old firefighter, a father, a husband, a man who wasn't even part of the political circus, but got caught in the crossfire. Let's also not forget the 2 other men who were injured. And yet, several Democrats had the audacity to dismiss or downplay what happened. They said it was a fabrication. They said it was staged. Remember Joy Reid? Instead of rallying around a former president who almost died on national TV, she turned it into a joke. She and others mocked it and called it political theater. He did it just for headlines, for sympathy. Let me be very, very clear. Let's get this straight once and for all. Political violence is never acceptable, period. I don't care how you identify. I don't care what political party you belong to. I don't care about any of that stuff. When you cross the threshold of violence, you've lost me. I'm done. I have nothing else. There's nothing else I can contribute in that moment. Now, let me give y'all a little history. Of the 4 sitting U.S. presidents assassinated, 3 were Republicans: Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, and William McKinley. And we all know the endless conspiracies around JFK. But even there, whispers of Democratic hands in the shadows won't go away. In 1981, Ronald Reagan, Republican, took a bullet and lived to tell about it. Theodore Roosevelt, shot while campaigning. Donald Trump, same thing. What they have in common, both were Republicans. See a pattern? Republicans have worn targets on their backs for over a century. And yet, they're painted as villains in the modern media. They're vilified, demonized, dehumanized until someone pulls the trigger. And even then, we find a way to still blame Republicans. Now, about the shooter that day in Butler, Pennsylvania, you don't know. We don't know much about him. That's because, shocker, the government has either buried it, suppressed it, or, quote, lost the information. Remember, Homeboy got cremated very quickly. But what little we do know, he was a registered Republican, which doesn't mean jack because Trump's movement has pulled in Democrats, independents, and libertarians alike. What else? Dude donated to Act Blue. Now, if you don't know what Act Blue is, it's basically the Democrat Party's cash cow. And it's widely believed that the shooter backed Joe Biden in 2020. But, you know, Who's keeping score? Think about it. Through all of this, through the smears, through the indictments, the witch hunts, and an assassination attempt, Donald J. Trump did what only Trump could do: bloodied and battered. He got up that day, looked his supporters in the eye, and threw his fist defiantly in the air. That moment, that image, it burned itself into history. It reminded America why so many people ride for this man. That moment was bigger than politics. It was about resilience, about refusing to back down even when the system, the media, and your enemies want you buried, literally. That's why Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States today. There was no divisive rhetoric from Democrats, no smear campaigns, no parade of DEI candidates that would have stopped what was to be. America saw through it. And on that day, July 13th, 2024, the enemy tried to end the movement with a bullet. Instead, they supercharged it. God bless the United States, bro. And God bless our president, the 47th, the 45th, and 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. God stopped that bullet from entering his brain.
Take a look what happened.
God turned that man's head in the final seconds. That was nothing but God. There was more to do.
I was really saved. I was really saved by somebody very special. People that are shooters, I'm not so much of a shooter, but people that were shooters say it's almost impossible that that was a miss. I mean, it was a hit, but it was a miss.
And the problem we're having today is that people don't like change. People don't want to change. They know a change needs to be made, but they don't want the actual change. They want the idea of change. And that's very, very disappointing. Donald Trump is not a racist. Donald Trump is not a sexist. There's so many women in his cabinet. There are people of color in his cabinet. Donald Trump wants equality for all Americans. He wants to level the playing field. We're in 2025 America. And the fact that as a black man, I am simply reduced to emotionalism, historical hurts, and pigment is absolutely 100% dumb, ridiculous, reductive, counterproductive, and just flat out stupid. The people I support and or look up to, I don't care about the color of their skin. I care about their character. And it takes a special character to get up as Donald Trump did on that day and continue to fight. That's not a weak person. That's not a person who makes a bunch of excuses for things. That's a person that gets stuff done. And we hate when people get stuff done, especially when they're Republican. And I've asked this question a million times. If Joe Biden was so great, if Joe Biden got the job done, how come 3.5 years into his tenure, he was basically unelectable? They knew he had no chance of reelection. 81 million votes, you say? I think most of the people on the sound of my voice are very grateful that July 13th, 2024 turned out the way it did. And then Donald Trump triumphantly, I believe it was that following Monday, showed up at the Republican National Convention. His ear was probably still ringing And remember, he had the big bandage on his ear. And Democrats, instead of saying, it is great that this man got up there in spite of almost being assassinated, no, they complained about how big the bandage was. Hmm. Oh, he's doing this for theatrical purposes. He's being dramatic. 2025 politics has reached a level of insanity that I don't know. It's a level of crazy that I don't understand. I don't comprehend this. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I don't think there's something I'm missing. I think we have reached a place where we have stopped seeing the humanity in each other. All we see are labels. All you are the labels you acquire. Yeah, I'm quote MAGA. Yeah, I'm quote a Trump supporter. I've been a conservative Republican for over 15 years, but I can see the humanity in people who don't think like me. The problem is, if you don't extend that humanity to me, I'm not giving it back. I will treat you exactly the way you treat me. That's it. So if you act like a wildebeest, I'll act like a bigger wildebeest. If you come to me respectfully, I'll be more respectful. That's life. That's how you get it done. But I don't want to be long winded here. I'm just grateful that Donald Trump made it through that day. Um, I'm also grateful that we were able to make him the 47th president of the United States. We also made history because he's the second president in history to serve non consecutive terms. So behind, I believe, Grover Cleveland. So here we are. It is now 1 year later. Donald Trump is in fact president, and America is winning. We're winning on tariffs. We're winning on peace. We're winning on trade. We're winning on the border. And in typical Democrat fashion, everything a Republican does is the end of the world. So do not listen to the outside noise, people. It's all part of their MO. It's their plan. It's what they do. Everything's a problem. Everything's a tragedy. Everything's going to destroy the United States. Everything is wrong. Keep that rhetoric out of your ears. Ignore it. Stop trying to have conversations with irrational people. When they say don't argue with drunk people or children. And they should add people with Trump derangement syndrome. It's a real thing. I would even say it's Republican derangement syndrome because even before, Ronald Reagan made a beautiful speech on it. Republicans are treated the way Donald Trump's being treated is no different. It's a bit more hysteria, but I believe the contributing factor to that is social media. The fact that everybody can express their opinion in real time. So the fact that Reagan and Bush didn't really have that is a little different, you know. But now in real time, we have people who can literally spread loads of misinformation within seconds and go unchecked. It's ridiculous and it's irresponsible. But that's what we human beings do. We mess things up. But again, I don't want to be long winded here, so I'm going to end it right here. I appreciate y'all for listening. God bless you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the channel, also, I made these shirts before I go of 3 significant moments during the campaign, one being July 13th, and I made them into albums. So if you would go to my website, AJsRANTroom.com, they're available for sale. They come in t-shirt and hoodie form. And that's all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.